Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Revels Shanty Sing. So nice to have so many people on board. My name is David Coffin. I am the Revels Artist-in-Residence, and I know there's some of you out there who aren't familiar so much with Revels. I will talk about that briefly in a moment. But before I do, I want to just do a little bit of business before we launch ourselves into this. We are broadcasting live from Zoom to Facebook. So those of you who are watching on Facebook, what you're seeing is the Zoom platform uh, hopefully working in action. It's going to have its little hiccups and delays and so forth as it does. We have a virtual audience on Zoom, just a select people who volunteered to be on board, so we can see some smiling faces singing along and sipping their cocktails and whatnot. And because we can't, of course, see all of you on Facebook, so it gives us an audience to interact with. We won't be having conversation with the audience, so you're not being left out. But it gives us people to see, which is always fun for performers, especially when we've been shut in our houses for close to a year now. So thank you to my Zoom virtual audience for joining us and setting sail tonight. Um, they're gonna remain muted. They can't sing with us because Zoom just doesn't allow for that. That's technology at its worst, as far as I'm concerned. But there we are. So Revels, and I know some of you out there are not familiar with Revels. I don't want to assume anything. So if some of you are hearing things you already know, bear with me. We like to bring everyone into the Revels fold. Revels is an artistic organization based in Watertown. We do a show every Christmas called the Christmas Revels at the Venerable Sanders Theater at Harvard in Cambridge. And this was our 50th year presenting a Christmas Revels at Sanders, and this is my 41st year. So I've been around, kicking around for quite some time here, and just love it. They haven't gotten rid of me yet, which is very nice. We are a nonprofit. You probably saw that one coming. We are a nonprofit, and if you're on Facebook, hopefully in the comment section, there is a link to donate if you would so choose, if you would like to. We will certainly not get in your way. All support helps us to keep singing with all of you. And we do a number of programs, so rather than me talking about it ad nauseum, I'm going to direct you to our website, which is revels.org. www.revels.org, and you can see a host of programming that we do. We have another concert coming up at the end of the month with José Vachon, French-Canadian singer, and so she's going to do a presentation followed by a podcast. So lots of stuff happening. Spring Sing in March, very participatory. But tonight we're going to sing sea shanties, and I wonder why that would be. Perhaps because of this TikTok explosion, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. We'll talk about what happened there and what the song was and so forth and so on. If you have questions and you're on Facebook, please put your questions in the comment section. And I promise I will go through the comment section afterwards, and I will try to answer as many questions as I can on Facebook, so you get a notification that I was actually paying attention. I'm not going to be monitoring comments during the presentation because my left brain, right brain, and middle brain are all struggling for attention right now. So I'm just going to try to keep it simple for me. My cohort tonight is Celeste Bernardo. I hope you can see her. I don't know what you see on Facebook, but I can see. There she is. Hello, Celeste.
Hello, David.
Celeste has a long history singing sea shanties. She has worked at many of the maritime museums around the country, and she does not like to claim herself as an expert, and neither do I. Let's be clear about that. But we both have a shared passion for preserving the material and presenting it as best we can. And so that's our goal tonight, is to sing as much as we can, give a little bit of background and a little explanation on the different kinds of shanties, because there are different kinds. They serve different purposes, different functions. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But this is more of a sing. It is definitely not a clinic. So if you're looking for a clinic, I can direct you to a clinic afterwards. So we will teach the choruses before each song because they're so simple. I learned them, so I'm figuring so can you. Shanties by nature are supposed to be easy to learn. The hard part for us is just getting all the verses in, but you just tackle the choruses, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to start with something that you actually probably won't sing. I'm not going to teach it for you. This is a really hard to get your head around. And I was inspired to write this particular shanty when this whole TikTok thing started. You're limited on TikTok to 60-second videos. So I thought I'd be really clever and put a whole bunch of shanties together into 60 seconds. So I'm going to sing this for you. Some of you may have heard it. I've posted it in various places. But the challenge, if you haven't heard it, how many shanties am I singing in the next 60 seconds? All right? How many shanties can you don't have to name them. You can't write that fast. But how many shanties am I singing here? And you can put your guesses in the comments. If you can name them all, you get 50 extra worthless points. All right? So here we go. The shanty medley, or the shanty challenge, if you choose to learn this. All right? I'm not sure all right, we're just going to go for it. It's good to get this done in the beginning while I still have some brain power. Here we go. Oh, we'd be all right if we make it round the horn to me way below the man down with Liza Lee all on my knee. Way haul away, we'll haul away Joe. Cape Cod girls don't have no combs. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Whoop, jamboree, and it's down, 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 derry down. Skipper's in the wardroom drinking gin, a donkey riding, come down, you bunch of roses, sailing down along the coast of High Barbary. Boney was a warrior, all on the bowling, roll Alabama, rolling down to old Maui. I thought I heard the old man say, strike the bell, second mate, let us go below, until we sight gay head off old Martha's Vineyard. Get up, Jack John, sit down. Oh! I'll have you know, folks, that is not easy. That is not so easy. My goodness. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking about when I wrote that thing, but don't try that at home. And if you want me to send it to you, I will. But it's posted around. You can find it. All right, so that's our shanty medley. Shanties in general, nutshell. Definition of shanties. These are the work songs that establish the rhythm on board the old sailing ships, so the sailors would know when to haul, pull, push, heave, whatever the job was. There was a song for that job. There were different rhythms for different jobs, and the shantyman, his job was to keep the song going. You know, the job isn't over just because you ran out of verses, and you'll see that as we go through the evening. Verses will be made up here and there. And the shantyman really needed to be able to either make up verses on the spot or steal verses from other shanties that would fit. So there's a lot of borrowing and stealing in the shanty world. But there are different kinds of jobs on board the ships, and we're going to go through not all of them, but a good amount of them, and present shanties that represent those jobs that fit the rhythm, as it were. The other thing we're going to do is give you a little taste of Revels, because Revels doesn't only do Christmas shows. We've done quite a few sea revels where we take a voyage somewhere. Maybe it's a whaling voyage. I can't keep track of all the voyages we've done. So we're going to show little clips of Revels past. I've gone through the archives and I've pulled out some videos. Louis Killen has graced our stage several times, and our late great friend Barry Finn, who I seem to recall someone saying Barry Finn could lull a cat from a tree. I actually don't think he could. I think he would probably blow the cat right out of the tree onto the lawn. He had the biggest voice I've ever heard. So we'll hear from Barry a little bit later on. It'll be nice to see him. He passed away quite a few years ago. He was a great friend and a great singer and a great collector of songs. So that's the layout for the evening. All right, we're going to start with capstan shanties, not to be confused with the captain. Capstan, that's the big round barrel-like thing up in the pointy end of the boat. We call that the bow. And up in the bow, you'll find this big round barrel-like thing with poles or pawls sticking out the sides. The sailors would line up, 2, 3, 4 abreast sometimes along these poles, and they'd stamp around the capstan to the beat of the song. So it's a very steady beat. So they just go around and around and around, and they go around for quite a few hours, hauling up the anchor. So we're going to start with a handful of capstan shanties. And I thought, since I live in Gloucester, but I work on Boston Harbor in the summertime running the narration program. We do the history tours of Boston Harbor. So I get to be on a boat. I know, poor me. But this is a song that actually originates from Boston. It's called From Boston Harbor. And, we've had our share of tall ship festivals in Boston. Some of you may have been around for that or come down to visit. So, all these tall ships, masts, reaching up into the sky, and it's just an amazing sight. But, 200 years ago, we didn't call it Tall Ship Festival back then. We probably just called it Monday or Tuesday. It was a regular sight on the harbor. And across the harbor over in East Boston are the famous shipbuilding yards of master shipbuilder Donald McKay, who built the fastest clipper ships to ever sail the oceans. The Flying Cloud was built in 1851 right there in East Boston. That was the ship to this day that still holds the record for a voyage from New York around Cape Horn to San Francisco. So you'll hear a lot of those references in there as well. So From Boston Harbor, it's got a very simple chorus. I'll run it through just once for you. If you need more help with that, well, there are 150 verses, so you'll have plenty of options. Hopefully I made that up. Here's the chorus. With a big bow wow, tow row row, fall de roll de ride o day. It's plain English. With a big bow wow, tow row row, fall de roll de ride o day. Presumably you're in your house by yourself or with your partner, spouse, whoever. Just sing whatever you want. Who's going to know? It doesn't matter. So here we go. From Boston Harbor we set sail. The wind was blowing the devil of a gale. With our ensign set, all the Bath, the mizzen peak, and the dolphin striker plowing up the deep. With a big bow wow, tow row row, fall de roll de ride o day. Well, the captain, he comes up from down below. He looks aloft and he looks alow. He looks alow, he looks aloft, saying, coil them lines there fore and aft. With a big bow wow, tow row row, fall de roll de ride o day. Then back to his cabin he quickly crawls, and into his steward he loudly bawls, go get me a glass that will make me cough. It's better weather here than it is up aloft. With a big bow wow, tow row row, fall de roll de ride o day. Now we poor sailors are working on the decks. The drops of rain, they're running down our neck. Not a drop of grog does he us afford, but he damns our eyes with every other word. With a big bow wow, tow row row, fall de roll de ride o day. Now there's just one thing that we sailors crave, for him to have a watery grave. We'll shove him down in the deep dark hole. The sharks can have his body, the devil take his soul. With a big bow wow, tow row row, fall de roll de ride o day. With a big bow wow, tow row row, fall de roll de ride o day. From Boston Harbor. And I see some of you singing here on Zoom, and that's why we have our virtual audience. So thank you very much. So let's bring Celeste in here. She's been unusually quiet for an unusually long period of time. So Celeste, take over here.
That's why we have a mute button, just to keep Celeste quiet over in the corner. So, hi everybody. It's great to see you all and to not hear you singing, but to see you singing. So I'm going to be singing another capstan shanty. As David said, the capstan shanties, you were stomping as you were marching around that piece of machinery. And it was interesting the first time I ever actually sang a shanty to a capstan on a shipboard, because I had practiced this shanty, and I was really all set to get up there and sing the song at Mystic Seaport while we were stamping around the capstan. And I'd practiced so much, and I sang, "Now we are ready to head for the Horn." And everyone walked like, "Now we are ready to head for the Horn." And I realized the skill of a shantyman was picking the right shanty for the right job. So if you were stamping around the capstan to bring the anchor in, your ship is over here, the anchor is here. You're first stamping around that capstan and the ship is going like this. And that's a quicker capstan shanty. And then once you're over the anchor, now it slows down as you break the anchor out from the muck. And the shantyman would know to switch to a slower, "Now we are ready to head for the Horn." So a shantyman really knew sailing. He may not be the best singer on the ship, but he knew how the machinery and the lines and everything worked. So you're going to see a lot of people who sing with concertinas, including David and myself a little later. And we're very fortunate that we have lovely instruments. But when you go through photographs on shipboard, you'll oftentimes see this instrument, which is a button accordion. You see a lot more of those than concertinas. I'm not really sure why. But the button accordion, they're not necessarily, you can buy really beautiful ones now, but the sailors, they didn't have a lot of money, and so they were buying instruments that were noisy, and they made, a lot of noise while they were playing. So I figured I'd give you a little bit of an authentic experience with this noisy accordion, and you can get a sense. The capstan shanties were one of the few types of shanties on shipboard where you could play an instrument, because sometimes the shantyman would sit right up on the capstan and sit on it and play his instrument as it was going around. Kind of hard to play an instrument when you're hauling on lines, and you'll see that later when we're going along. So this one was a very favorite outward bound shanty. You could often hear it as the sailors were either raising the anchor with the capstan or even hauling on lines to raise the sails. And the chorus, I'm going to sing a line, and then you'll sing. I'll sing, let me see. I'll sing la da 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 da, and you'll sing "Away for Rio," and then I'll sing da dee 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 dee, and you'll sing "We're bound for the Rio Grande." And there's a chorus, but if you get those little lines in between, you'll catch on. Well, the anchor is weighed and the sails they are set. Away for Rio, the girls we are leaving will never forget. We're bound for the Rio Grande. It's away, boys, away, away for Rio. Say fare thee well, my Frisco gal, and we're bound for the Rio Grande. Pack up your donkey and get underway. Away for Rio, the girls we are leaving can have half our pay, 'cause we're bound for the Rio Grande. Away, boys, away, away for Rio. Say fare thee well, my Frisco gal, and we're bound for the Rio Grande. We've a jolly good ship and a jolly good crew. Away for Rio, a jolly good first mate and good skipper too, and we're bound for the Rio Grande. It's away, boys, away, away for Rio. Say fare thee well, my Frisco gal, and we're bound for the Rio Grande. Well, heave one call, the heaving belay. Away for Rio, heave steady, because we'll say farewell today, and we're bound for the Rio up and down. Now the bosun did say, away for I. Heave to the hawse pipe the anchors away, and we're bound for the Rio Grande. It's away, boys, away, away for Rio. Say fare thee well, my Frisco gal, and we're bound for the Rio Grande. Back to you, Dave.
Oh, I love the clickety-clackety. If you live anywhere near Boston, it might feel like you're riding down the old Green Line.
The dogs are scratching at the door right now. They're like, what's going on?
The subway in the nation. Sounds a little clickety-clackety, clickety-clackety. All right, well, so I mentioned that we have done many sea revels, and one of the integral part of revels is the children. We always include children in just about everything we do, except, of course, tonight, because it's sea shanties and it's probably past our bedtime. We'll just leave that one there. But I'm going to show you a clip from a revels we did back in 1999 at the Emerson Majestic Theater, and the kids are actually forming two ships, and the song is High Barbary, but they're forming two ships and reenacting the battle at sea. The Revels children are usually not this aggressive, but I'm going to ask our engineer, Dave Jamrog, to do the screen share routine and play that first video clip. High Barbary. So you see what I mean? They're not usually that aggressive, but you know they did get into that one for sure. So there you are. High Barbary, another capstan shanty, not presented as a capstan shanty necessarily right there, but certainly works. So there is the Shantyman's Bible. It is called Chanteys from the Seven Seas, written by Stan Hugel. I don't know if that's showing backwards or not. I don't know if that reading correctly. I see people. I got a thumbs up. Awesome. So any shantyman worth his salt is going to have this book, and I have referred to this book many times, and I've actually met Stan Hugel way back when down at Mystic Seaport at some of the international sea music festivals back when we had festivals. We'll have them again, I hope. But what a character, what a character. And I thought that I would introduce this next song by reading from his book the introduction to the song that I'm going to sing. And the song is called Patty West. It's a great song. You find more of the story songs at the capstan because the capstan just goes on and on and on. It's not a call and response, you know, quick back and forth and timing it out till the job is done. But you're stamping around that capstan till kingdom come. So usually there's a good story. Patty West, of course, Well, I'm going to read this little paragraph from Stan Hugel because I just think there's no point in me trying to do what he already did. And he says it quite well. The hero of our next shanty was a real live personage. He is usually said to have lived in Great Howard Street, Liverpool, where he kept a seaman's boarding house of singular fame. For here he would make a farmer into an able-bodied seaman in a couple of days. In his backyard, he had a ship's wheel rigged where the candidate would learn to steer, while Paddy's wife would chuck a bucket of cold water over him to get you used to the cold nor'westers. Practice in furling sail was gained on the windowsill of the attic, and the final ceremony was the stepping over a piece of string and the circling of a cow's horn standing on the front parlor table. Then, fitted out in dungarees with a nice clean rope yarn for a belt, and with one suit of oilskins tween ye and your mate, I'll tell the mate to put ye in a different watch, and a dead seaman's discharge papers in his pocket, the newly made, able-bodied seaman would be introduced to some hard-case packet, and as he trundled aboard with a sea bag filled with bricks, covered with an old jersey and a torn shirt, Farmer Jack, now Sailor John, had little idea of what awaited him out on the broad Atlantic. This is why I read from Stan's book. And now I will sing for you Paddy West. Put all that story into the song, which is a great way to learn maritime history, by the way, is to learn these songs. So here we go. It's got a great chorus. I'll sing it through once. It's got a lot of words, but you'll get it. You got lots of time. Take off your dungaree jacket and give yourself a rest, and we'll think of the cold nor'westers that we had at Paddy West. Do your best. Don't worry about it. That's the last thing you should do. Here we go. As I took a walk down Grand Street, I came to Paddy West's house. He gave me a feed of American hash, he called it English scouse. He said, cheer up, me hearties, for you just came in time to put your name upon the book as quickly as you can sign. Take off your dungaree jacket and give yourself a rest, and we'll think of the cold nor'westers that we had at Paddy West. As I walked into Paddy West's house, the gale began to blow. He sent me up to the garret, the main royal fore to stow. As I went up to the garret, no main royal could I find. So I slewed around to the window, and I furled the window blind. Take off your dungaree jacket and give yourself a rest, and we'll think of the cold nor'westers that we had at Paddy West. Now Paddy's wife stood in the kitchen, a bucket of water in hand. Paddy pipes, all hands on deck, your stations for to man. Then Paddy's wife left hold that bucket, the water flew each way, saying, clew up your fore to Gansel, boys, we're taken in the sea. Take off your dungaree jacket and give yourself a rest, and we'll think of the cold nor'westers that we had at Paddy West. And now we're off to the southern, boys, to Frisco we are bound. Paddy calls for a piece of rope, he passes it quickly round. I steps across and back again, he says to me, that's fine. If they ask if you've ever been to sea, you can say you've crossed the line. Take off your dungaree jacket and give yourself a rest, and we'll think of the cold nor'westers that we had at Paddy West. Paddy says, now pay attention, these lessons you will learn. The starboard is where the ship she points, the right side is the stern. So look ye aft to your starboard port, and you will find northwest. And that's the way they teach you at the school of Paddy West. Take off your dungaree jacket and give yourself a rest. And we'll think of the cold nor'westers that we had at Paddy West. And now the only thing to do before you sail away, you've crossed the line and stowed the jib, been soaked with the spray. It's to walk around the table there on which there is a horn, and you can say you've rounded it 10 times since you was born. Take off your dungaree jacket and give yourself a rest, and we'll think of the cold nor'westers that we had at Paddy West. Put on your dungaree jacket and walk out looking your best, and tell 'em that you're an old sailor man that comes from Paddy West. Paddy West, a favorite of mine.
So David was talking about Stan Hugel, and for those of us who sing shanties, he was one of the last shantmen, and he billed himself as that. He was in his 80s and still touring, and he was very thin, wiry with tattoos and a ponytail. He was the real thing, and he would always sing out these songs and give these little hitches before as he was going to start singing. Oh, there he is. When I worked out in San Francisco at the Hyde Street Pier, I was working with the National Park Service out there, and was in my 20s, and we had Stan Hugel out for a festival, and it was like meeting, it was the ultimate to meet Stan Hugel. And after, he was gone a few weeks, I got a letter from Stan Hugel. Now this was big. I was so excited, and I thought, oh, a letter from Stan, and he's, what does he say to me? I was so excited, and I opened it up, and he said, I had a lovely time, Celeste, and I still haven't received my check. It was really, it was very, so that's the letter that I have from Stan Hugel. He hadn't been paid, but anyway. So the next capstan shanty that I'm going to sing is Johnny Comes Down to Hilo. And one of the things about crews on sailing vessels was the diversity on those ships. And particularly African Americans who were working on shipboard. The maritime industries were one of the few industries that employed African Americans in large numbers, and they sang incredible work songs. It was the call and response songs that they had brought from Africa and then sang down the stevedores down south, loading the ships, were singing these songs, and there was all this cross culture between the English and the Irish and the African Americans and the Portuguese, and all mixed of different types of singing and songs. So this song, Johnny Comes Down to Hilo, has African influences. I will admit I've changed the words a little bit in some cases, because some of the songs now we would certainly consider offensive. But the chorus in this particular one, you'll sing, now wake her and shake her, oh shake that gal with the blue dress on when Johnny comes down to Hilo, poor old man. That's the chorus. I may change the key a little. I've never seen the like since I've been born, an Arkansas farmer with the sea boots on when Johnny comes down to Hilo, poor old man. Well, wake her and shake her, wake that gal with the blue dress on when Johnny comes down to Hilo, poor old man. Well, hand me down my riding cane, I'm going to see my Sarah Jane. Johnny comes down to Hilo, poor old man. Well, wake her and shake her, oh, wake that gal with the blue dress on when Johnny comes down to Hilo, poor old man. She's a down east gal with a down east style. I'm telling you, boys, she's all worthwhile. Johnny comes down to Hilo, poor old man. Well, wake her and shake her, oh, wake that gal with the blue dress on. Johnny come down to high-low, poor old man. We're sailing down to Baltimore, we'll dance upon that sandy floor. Johnny come down to high-low, poor old man. Well, wake her, oh, shake her, oh, wake that gal with the blue dress on. Johnny comes down to high-low, poor old man. And my crew's been here since I've been gone, the pretty little girl with the blue dress on. Johnny comes down to high-low, poor old man. Well, wake her, wake her, wake her, oh, wake that gal with the blue dress on. Johnny comes down to high-low, poor old man. And them high-low girls that dress so fine, they don't have Jesus on their minds. Johnny come down to high-low, poor old man. Well, wake her and shake her, oh, wake that gal with the blue dress on. Johnny comes down to high-low, poor old man. David wants to go to heaven, yes he do. He wants to go to heaven with that high-low crew. Johnny comes down to high-low, poor old man. Well, wake her and shake her, oh, wake that gal with the blue dress on. Johnny comes down to high-low, poor old man. Vast Steven!
Well, that was fun. Love singing along with you. Too bad nobody else can hear us. One at a time, one at a time. All right, we got one more shanty in the capstan group, as it were, and then we're going to move on to the halyard and the hauling shanties. And so this is the shanty I actually just learned a couple of weeks ago, and I had been playing it on the concertina, but I think I'm going to not do it on the concertina just to keep it a little bit more authentic. I am going to play some concertina a little bit later. I love concertina on this, but then it starts to sound less like a shanty and more like a song. I mean, I know shanties are forms of songs, but it starts to feel differently, and then partly because it's just new for me, so I'm susceptible to the different aspects of it. So this is a song called A Long Time Ago, or Way Hey Roll and Go, whichever way you want to call it. Some people call it Roll and Go. When you look it up in Hugel, it has one verse, and then it references another shanty where it's got like 100 verses, so you can start stealing and, you know, forming your own version of the song, which is what shantymen did anyway. You know, they traveled. It's not like they looked these up in a book and said, oh, I'm going to learn this version. They learned it from other shantymen. They learned it from other people they met, you know, out on the high seas or in ports or in bars or whatnot. And so the oral tradition, very hard at work here. And these songs traveled everywhere, so there are lots of different versions. There's no one who can actually say, that's not the way it goes, because there is no definitive way it goes. Maybe that's my draw to sea shanties, because I tend to make stuff up a lot. So here we go. Your line, there are a couple of different lines. One of them is, way, roll and go. Let's try that. Way, roll and go. And then the, a long time ago, a long time ago. I think it does that twice. Yeah, you just follow me. I won't tell. Here we go. Oh, Sally Brown, she promised me a long time ago. She promised for to marry me. Way, roll and go. She promised for to marry me a long time ago. Oh, Sally Brown's the girl for me a long time ago. Oh, Sally Brown, she slighted me. Way roll and go. Oh, Sally Brown, she slighted me a long time ago. As I walked out one morning fair a long time ago, it's then I met her, I do declare. Way roll and go, it's then I met her, I do declare, a long time ago. Oh, Sally Brown, I love you dearly a long time ago. You had me heart, or very nearly, way roll and go. You had me heart, or very nearly, a long time ago. Oh, Sally Brown, she would not marry a long time ago. And I no longer care to tarry, way roll and go. And I no longer care to tarry a long time ago. She would not have a tarry sailor a long time ago. So I shipped away on a Nantucket whaler, way roll and go. So I shipped away on a Nantucket whaler a long time ago. A long time ago, roll and go. And you notice on that second to last line, the penultimate line, I changed the line into triplets. That was my wife's idea. She's been listening to me bludgeon her and anyone in the house, including the dog, with chanteys since the middle of January. Bless her. And she had this crazy notion, oh, you should sing that in triplets, which of course you shouldn't do because the sailors will of course all fall down. If you change that rhythm, they won't know what to do. But I just love the idea of the triplets, that I can't not sing those triplets. I also changed it from New Bedford whaler to Nantucket because I'm taking that license, because through learning all these maritime songs years ago, it's then that I discovered that my family used to own Nantucket. Of course, we don't anymore, but we used to. Back in 1659, they left me no land. I'm a little bit bitter about that, but I'm getting over it. But it's amazing what you can learn from a sea shanty and maritime music in general. So, little backstory on that one. Celeste is going to introduce halyard shanties, hauling shanties, and then we're gonna keep plowing ahead, as it were.
Plow the briny ocean. So there were heaving shanties, which heaving is pushing, right? You push on the capstan, and then there were hauling shanties, which you were pulling, and there were different types of hauling shanties depending on the job. So the halyard shanty was also known as the long haul shanties or long drag shanties. They were typically used for heavier tasks on shipboard, like hoisting the sail or catting the anchor, bring it alongside the ship and tie it off. So on a sailing ship, like you see the one behind me, you had different things going on aloft up there. The lowest sail, or the course, was simply you would untie the gaskets and drop the sail, and then you'd pull the sail down, okay? But the next yard up, the was a topsail, and the topsail actually was raised up, not just the canvas, but the yard, that pole that goes across the mast, right? And so you would have to haul up the entire yard. Haul yard, halyard. Okay, and it was a heavy job to haul up. You figure all that canvas on the ship plus the yards. So the topsails were raised up, the topgallant. As ships got larger and larger, they had more and more sails. Dave mentioned the clipper ships. You would have a course, then you'd have the lower topsail, you'd have the upper topsail, the lower topgallant, the upper topgallant, the royal, and it went on and on. Some of the sails were just dropped, other sails had to be raised up. So we're going to sing a halyard shanty. This one is Hurrah for the Black Ball Line. The Black Ball Line being a packet ship, meaning it ran on a schedule. You know, before the Black Ball Line, ships sailed and you were like, hey, when's that ship coming in? Well, what's today? Oh, I think it's Tuesday. Well, maybe it'll be here Tuesday. Maybe it'll be here Wednesday. Could be here Thursday. But with the Black Ball Line, you knew when that ship was arriving because they sailed on a schedule. And in order to keep that schedule, they were a tough bunch. And they were very proud. They wore red top boots. They had short haircuts. They were known for being really rough and tumble guys. Your part, I'm going to sing I serve me time on the Black Ball Line. And your part is to me way, hey, hey, hurrah-yo. And then I'll sing in the Black Ball Line, I serve me time. And you'll sing hurrah for the Black Ball Line. And that's it. You'll catch on because we're going to do this a lot. It's a big sail. Okay, so, all right. I serve me time on the Black Ball Line to me way, hey, hey, hurrah-yo. On the I have to tell you one more thing because this is kind of cool. All right, so the halyard comes down, right? It comes down. They run it to a block in the deck, and then the line goes out, and everybody lines up at that line, and they're all standing there, and they're ready. You'd have guys like David in the front, the big guys, you know, and I'm 5 feet tall. I'd be in the back with the idlers like the cook or the boys on the back of the line. So we'd all line up. The shantymen would stand where that line is coming down to that block, and they would pull the line and feed it into the block while they were singing. I've done this. Let me tell you, those guys were in shape. So I'm going to try to sit still. It's hard to do it and sing this song. Again, to me way, hey, hey, hurrah. You'll catch on. On the Black Ball Line, I serve me time to me way, hey, hey, hurrah-yo. On the Black Ball Line, I serve me time, hurrah for the Black Ball Line. Black ball ships, they are good and true to me way, hey, hey, hurrah-yo. They are the ships for me and you, hurrah for the Black Ball Line. That's the line where you can shine to me way, hey, hey, hurrah-yo. That's the line where I wasted me prime, hurrah for the Black Ball Line. If you wish to find a real gold mine to me, hey, 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 hurrah-yo. Just take a trip on a Black Ball Line, hurrah for the Black Ball Line. Just take a trip to Liverpool to me way, hey, hey, hurrah-yo. To Liverpool, that Yankee school, hurrah for the Black Ball Line. Those Yankee sailors, you'll see their way, hey, hey, hurrah-yo. With red top boots and short cut hair, hurrah for the Black Ball Line. There's Liverpool Pat with his tarpaulin hat to me way, hey, hey, hurrah-yo. And Paddy McGee, the packet rat, hurrah for the Black Ball Line. Once there was a black ball ship to me way, hey, hey, hurrah-yo. That 14 knots an hour could clip, hurrah for the Black Ball Line. They'll carry you through the ice and snow to me way, hey, hey, hurrah-yo. And take you where the winds don't blow, hurrah for the Black Ball Line. Oh, drink a health to the Black Ball Line to me way, hey, hey, hurrah-yo. Their ships are stout and their men are fine, hurrah for the Black Ball Line. High enough!
Yeah, that's high enough. Sometimes you got to know when to stop. That's awesome. That's awesome. And yes, you would definitely be at the end of the line. That's for sure. And one of the things you'll notice is there are a couple of lines in Celeste's version of that song that you're going to hear in another shanty in just a minute. But before we get to that one, we have another Revels clip, and our long lost friend Louis Killen. And I'm sure there are a lot of people on board. If you're at all familiar with folk music and maritime music, for sure, you know Louis Killen. You've seen him or you've heard him perform. Hopefully, He joined us for several Sea Revels over the years, and he's going to sing a version of Blood Red Roses, and he's going to be hauling, and you're going to see the yard going up. Now, you'll notice the men are not quite working as hard as Celeste envisioned, because this is theater. We're not on a ship. So we know that they're hauling something, but in truth, we don't get to actually see what it is that they're hauling. It's probably some, trash bag out in the wings of the theater, but we don't get to see it. But here we go. Blood Red Roses, Louis Killand, 1998 at the Emerson Majestic Theater in Boston. Oh, Louis, what an addition to the chorus he was, and to our shows. He was a lot of fun, and as you can see, he made stuff up. And let me tell you, he loved that costume. I am now not muted, so thank you very much. Everything I just said was worth missing anyway, so thank goodness for that. So Louis loved that costume. He really wanted to take it home with him. We had to really check his bags before he flew back across the pond. But always a lot of fun having him on board. And he and Celeste had a long relationship. They were very close friends. And I know it's probably a little tough for her watching these, but I think it's also it's fun too. Yeah, he touched a lot of hearts. So Louis Killand. So I'm going to move on to the next one. I selected, for some unknown reason, I felt the need to sing "Blow the Man Down," and hopefully a lot of you have seen the movie, which I was lucky enough to be in. So much fun to sing the title of the film there, "Blow the Man Down." It's not a movie about sea shanties, but it's a wonderful movie, very, very creatively done, very well done, entirely filmed on the coast of Maine and Harpswell. And go see the movie. It's on Amazon Prime. There you go. So "Blow the Man Down." Your part is very simple. You all probably already know it because you've been watching the movie so many times. But every other line is yours. "To me way, hey, blow the man down." And the last line, "Give me some time to blow the man down." If you're not sure, just sing "Blow the Man Down." No one will know. So here we go. We'll sing you the whole thing. These are not the verses that I sang in the movie. These are different, but you'll hear references, of course, to the Black Ball Line. Black Ball Line appears, and a reference to "Wasting Me Prime," of course, which Celeste already mentioned. There we go. "Come all you young fellows who follow the sea, to me way below the man down. Now please pay attention and listen to me. Give me some time to blow the man down. I'm a deep water sailor, just come from Hong Kong. To me way below the man down. If you give me some whiskey, I'll sing you a song. Give me some time to blow the man down. On a trim black ball liner I first served me time. To me way below the man down. On a trim black black ball liner, I wasted me prime. Give me some time to blow the man down. When a trim black ball liner's preparing for sea, chummy way below the man down. You'd split your sides laughing, such sights you would see. Give me some time to blow the man down. There's tinkers and tailors, shoemakers and all, chummy way below the man down. They're all shit for sailors on board the Black Ball. Give me some time to blow the man down. When a big black ball liner's a-leaving the dock, chummy way below the man down. The boys and the girls on the pierhead do flock. Give me some time to blow the man down. Now when the big liner is clear of the land, chummy way below the man down. Our boatswain he roars out the word of command. Give me some time to blow the man down. Come quickly lay aft to the break of the poop, chummy way below the man down, or I'll help you along with the toe of me boot. Give me some time to blow the man down. Pay attention to orders, now you one and all, chummy way below the man down. For see, right above you, there flies the black ball. Give me some time to blow the man down. 'Tis larboard and starboard, on deck you will sprawl, chummy way below the man down. For kicking Jack Rogers commands the black ball. Give me some time to blow the man down. Blow the man down. Yarr. All right. Celeste.
One more halyard shanty. Okay, so this one is very simple chorus. Oh, yes, oh, and then 100 years ago. So I just need to make sure I'm in the right key here. 100 years on the eastern shore. Oh, yes, oh, 100 years on the eastern shore. 100 years ago. Oh, Bully John from Baltimore. Oh, yes, oh, I knew him well on the eastern shore 100 years ago.
Oh, Bully John was the man for me. Oh, yes, oh. A bully on land and a bucko at sea 100 years ago. Oh, Bully John, I knew him well. Oh, yes, oh. But now he's died and gone to hell 100 years ago.
He's as dead as a nail in the lamp-locked door. Oh, yes, so. And he won't come hazing us no more 100 years ago. 100 years is a very long time. Oh, yes, oh. And it's been a long time since I sang this rhyme 100 years ago.
They used to think that pigs could fly. Oh, yes, oh. Do you believe this little lie? 100 years ago, they thought the moon was made of cheese. Oh, yes, oh. You can believe it if you please. 100 years ago.
There's supposed to be somebody else in there. They thought the stars were set alight oh, yes, oh, by 100 angels in the night, 100 years ago. I'll give him another shot at it. Not there. Oh, Canadians 3 Zoom bombed us here. Oh, yes, oh. And they didn't even sing Barrett's Privateers 100 years ago. All right. Well, that was fun. We got Zoom bombed by a bunch of Canadians here. One of them still being spotlighted in his lovely hat. Very nice. It must be cold up there. Very cold. Yep. I hope you didn't wake your child up. But that was our little round robin of 100 years ago, and that was our friends up in the Great White North Press Gang Mutiny, or most of them at least. Someone may have had a technical glitch. Yep, I'm seeing the nod of a technical glitch. Yep. Well, that's what happens. You know, shanties were not made for Zoom. But, you know, we cover. So the next one is one of my favorites. It's called Noah's Ark. And we're going to hear from Press Gang Mutiny a little bit later in a slightly more solid format, so not to worry. But they will make another appearance here. You know, we don't call them special guests for nothing. So this is a song about the oldest ship in the world, Noah's Ark. It's a halyard or a capstan shanty. It works both ways. And I love this song because it answers the life's burning question of why is the dog's nose cold? And a lot of people don't know this. So it's important to understand these things. And you just never know where a life lesson can be learned. Sometimes it's actually from a sea shanty. So your part goes like this. Jimmy way, hey, hey, yeah. All right, here we go. Jimmy way, hey, hey, yeah. That is brutally high. Let's take that down a little bit. Jimmy way, hey, hey, yeah. Same line, just lower. And the last line, a long time ago. Try that. A long time ago. Here we go. There were 3 ships in Frisco Bay. Jimmy way, hey, there were 3 ships in Frisco Bay a long time ago. And one of those ships was Noah's old Ark. Jimmy way, all covered all over with hickory bark. A long time ago, they took 2 animals of every kind. Jimmy way, they took 2 animals of every kind a long time ago. Well, the bull and the cow, they started to row. Jimmy way, the bull and the cow, well, they started to row a long time ago. Then Noah, he said, with a crack of his whip, Jimmy way, you stop that row or I'll scuttle the ship a long time ago. So the bull stuck his horns through the side of the ark. Jimmy way, the little black dog, he started to bark a long time ago. So Noah took the dog, stuck his nose in the hole. Jimmy way, and ever since then, the dog's nose has been cold a long time ago. Well, it's a long, long time, and a very long time. Jimmy way, a long, long time, and a very long time. A long time ago. Noah's Ark, a life's lesson for the evening. Be kind to your dog. All right, so we are going to move on to another shanty from Louis Killen. 1995, we're outside now at the DeCordova Museum in a tiny suburb just outside of Boston, Lincoln, Massachusetts, at a lovely museum with an outdoor performance space. And as I've mentioned, the shantyman would often improvise verses on the spot, but if you don't keep the rhythm, as I mentioned earlier, you can see what happens. All right, so we're just gonna roll this tape and watch the sailors get a little confused as Louis plays a little prank on them. I'm sure it was deliberate. So Whiskey Johnny, Louis Killen, 1995.
Oh, whiskey is the life of man.
Whiskey, Johnny.
Oh, whiskey in an old tin can.
Whiskey for me, Johnny.
Oh, whiskey killed me old dad.
Whiskey, Johnny.
And this whiskey drove me mother mad.
Whiskey for me, Johnny.
Oh, whiskey, whiskey everywhere.
Whiskey, Johnny.
Up me nose and in me hair.
Whiskey for me, Johnny.
Oh, it's whiskey straight and whiskey strong.
Whiskey, Johnny.
Oh, I'll drink whiskey all day long.
Whiskey for me, Johnny.
Oh, as if the ocean was whiskey and I was a duck.
Whiskey, Johnny.
I died to the bottom and I never come up.
Whiskey for me,
Oh, right, belay that, lads, belay that. That's...
All right. Well, no one got hurt. That's the good news. And if I can, I'm going to talk a little bit about TikTok at this point. And while I do that, I'm going to ask our engineer extraordinaire to figure out a way to unmute Celeste, because I don't want to sing all of her songs. I want her to sing them. All right. So TikTok. I'm just going to do a little thing about TikTok. I know you've probably read a lot about it in the news, but it is a platform that you're allowed 60 seconds to make a video. And back in December, a guy named Nathan Evans, a Scottish postal worker, sang a song called Wellerman, as it was titled then, and he sang it like it was a shanty, a sea shanty, and it just took off like wildfire, and everyone got on board, and the younger generation just hopped on because they were already there and just started singing with him and making duets, because you can duet on TikTok. It's one of the really cool functions. You can take someone's video and you can sing a harmony part. Someone else can get on and sing another harmony part. And I'll show you an actual TikTok video with Press Gang Mutiny and myself as well. So, but in just a moment, what I love about TikTok, and yes, I'm actually on TikTok. I never thought I would be ever in my life. I knew it was a word. I didn't really know what it was, but I was preparing for an interview about this sea shanty craze on TikTok with the New York Times of all things, and I had no idea what it was. So I called my daughter, of course. What else do you do? And you ask your children how things work, and set up a TikTok account, sang a song, which I'm very proud of. I sang Blow the Man Down. And you can put text on the screen and, a little bit about the song. So I wrote Duet Me, because that's what I was told to do. And it's right across my face the whole time. I didn't know you could move the text. So I'm very proud of my first very amateurish video with the text right across my face. But, people get to sing along on it. I sing along on other people's videos. People get to learn harmonies. They learn new shanties, because there are lots of shanties. They knew Wellerman and maybe Drunken Sailor, but not a whole lot more. So it's an educational opportunity to get some of these songs out there. And kids, you only get 60 seconds. So what do? They want to hear more of that song. They go do their research. Now, that might take them to YouTube and Wikipedia, but these days, that's research to some. Is what I care about is it gets them interested and excited about sea shanties. So there's a whole another whole generation coming up through the ranks, falling in love with sea shanties. Somebody actually commented on one of mine, what's it like to have been singing sea shanties before it was cool? And I responded, well, they've always been cool, just people didn't know about it yet. So they've been out there for a long time, and they're having a resurgence. And it's a wonderful, wonderful way for young people to connect. When, again, we're all shut in our houses, but they can connect through music, and they're singing with people they've never met, probably never will, but they're making music, and there's a lot of energy in these songs, as you can see, as you can hear. So it's really, really fun. What I want to do at this point is sing Wellerman, and I'm going to sing it not as a sea shanty, because in fact, it is not a sea shanty. And that is the ultimate irony, is sea shanties have taken off on TikTok based on a song that isn't even a sea shanty. This is a ballad. It's a ballad about a whaling voyage out of New Zealand called Soon May the Wellermen Come. The Wellermen are the Weller brothers. They ran a supply business out to the whaling ships so they wouldn't have to come back in for supplies. And they wanted the Wellermen, the company, to come out and bring them sugar, tea, and rum. I don't even think I need to teach the chorus, because you've probably been subjected to it more than you ever thought imaginable. Soon may the Wellermen come and bring us sugar, tea, and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, I'll take my leave and go. And to sing this song, I'm going to hold up my concertina here. This is my concertina. I'm playing it down on my knees so you don't get to see it, but it's a big one. And I'm going to ask my daughter Linnea to step on in here and sing with me, because she can, and I love it when she does. I always say I'll sing with her as long as she'll let me. So we're going to sing Soon May the Wellermen Come. Got it over to 3? Yeah, cool. And sing along on that chorus. It comes around a few times. All right, here we go. There was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Billy of Tea. The winds blew up, her bow dipped down, oh blow me, bully boys, blow. Soon may the Wellermen come and bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, I'll take my leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take the whale in tow. Soon may the Wellermen come and bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, I'll take my leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side, harpooned and fought her when she dived down below. Soon may the Wellermen come and bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, I'll take my leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not of greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took the ship in tow. Soon may the Wellermen come and bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, I'll take my leave and go. For 40 days or even more, the line went slack, then tight once more. All boats were lost, there were only 4, but still the whale did go. Soon may the Wellermen come and bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, I'll take my leave and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on. The line's not cut and the whale's not gone. The Wellerman makes his regular call to encourage the captain, crew, and all. Soon may the Wellermen come and bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, I'll take my leave and go. Soon may the Wellermen come and bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, I'll take my leave and go. Soon may the Wellermen come. My daughter, Linnea Coffin. Thank you, Sweet Pea. All right. Oh, I live for moments like that. I do. All right, where are we here? Oh, yes, we are going to show a TikTok video. We were talking about TikTok. So we're going to show a TikTok video of the Press Gang Mutiny singing a song, and what they did was leave a verse open in the middle, and they invited me to come in and sing on it. Of course, anybody could come in and sing on it because you can have multiple videos. I just hopped in and sang a verse, and then they sang the third verse. One of the things that we do in Revels, if you've ever been to Revels, is you've been subjected to Morris dancing. And I say that in the most fun way, obviously, because one of the Press Gang Mutiny boys is a Morris dancer as well. If you can see him, it's pretty obvious which one. But someone decided that this was a great song on TikTok to Morris dance to. And I just thought that was the bee's knees. So we're going to see that particular video of Press Gang Mutiny, David Coffin, and Georgie Joy, I believe is her name. I do not know her, but it's a very precarious thing that she's doing. So let's watch that video and you'll see. Don't pay attention to the singers because we're all out of sync. We're singing right, but our lips are all wrong. We did do it correctly. It's a TikTok thing. Don't stress about it. Here we go. Let's see that video.
Bob, I'm bully in the alley.
Way, hey, bully in the alley.
Help me, Bob,
I'm bully in the alley. Bully down the shin bone out.
Well, I left my gal to go a-sailing.
Way, hey, bully in the alley.
I left myself to go a-whaling.
Bully down the shin bone out. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Way, hey, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down the shin bone out. Well, Sally is the gal that I splice nearly. Way, hey, bully in the alley. Sally is the gal that I splice dearly. Bully down the shin bone out. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Way, hey, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down the shin bone out. I love that. I just love it. I have permission from her to share that video. I mean, it is on TikTok. Anyone can get it. But I did assure her that I was going to show that one and not the one that she uploaded the first time, where she actually realized how dangerous it is to Morris dance on a snowy deck, because she actually hit the deck and got up laughing really hard. But I wasn't going to show that one. You have to go to TikTok to find that one. So thank you, Press Gang Mutiny and Georgie Joy, for letting us spotlight that TikTok video. All right, Celeste, you're up with the short haul shanties.
Okay, so the short haul shanties, we were singing long haul shanties to bring those yards up, and as the yard is opening up and the wind is filling that sail, it's going to get harder and harder. So the shantyman would be singing, and he might be singing Blackball Line, I serve my time on the Blackball Line, right? And everyone pulls to me, way, hey, hey, hurrah-yo. And all of a sudden he changes to a different shanty, because now it's really, you've just got to get a few pulls to tighten up that sail. And that's what we're going to sing, is these short hauls. They were to sweat up the halyard. They were, if you were turning the braces, those yards, in, tightening them with the wind, just a few good pulls. And your part would go, way, hey, ya, and John Francois. That's it. So, Boney was a warrior, away, hey, ya, a warrior and a terrier, John Francois. Boney fought the Russians, way, hey, ya. Boney fought the Prussians, John Francois. While Moscow was a blazing, way, hey, ya. and Boney was a raging John Francois. Then Boney went to Elba, way hey ya, and Boney he came back again, John Francois. Then Boney went to Waterloo, way hey ya, and there he got his overthrow, John Francois. He met the Duke of Wellington, way hey ya, and then his downfall had begun for John Francois. They took him off again, way hey ya, all aboard the bully ruffian John Francois. And Boney broke his heart and died, way hey ya, away in St. Helena's Isle, John Francois. Boney was a warrior.
Your French is impeccable.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna slip into another video from a Sea Revels back in 1999, and this is our friend Barry Finn, who I mentioned earlier, and he's going to sing a shanty called "Pay Me My Money Down." This is pretty clearly not a song that originated out at sea. This clearly came from the field hands, where again, having a rhythm, working in the fields, whether it's in the West Indies or the Georgia Sea Islands or in Africa, these songs found their way on board ships, and it's, you know, the ships. These were communities. These were people from all over the world. Color didn't matter. Everyone worked together. This was, you know, to survive, you worked together as a crew, and everyone had to get along, or they'd toss you over the side. And you know, chances are you didn't know how to swim, so that wasn't going to be a good way to go. So these were, you know, really tight-knit communities on board ships, really reliant on each other to make the work happen and to make the voyage successful. So "Pay Me My Money Down," and this is another hauling shanty, and just to show you that we can haul on just about anything when you're in the theater. It doesn't have to weigh an enormous amount. So let's watch "Pay Me My Money Down" with Barry Finn.
I thought I heard the old man say, "Pay me my money down. Tomorrow is a certain day. Pay me my money down. Pay me, you owe me. Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. I wish I was Mr. Alfred Johnson. Pay me my money down. I'd stay at home and watch the work get done. Pay me my money down. Oh, pay me, you owe me. Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. As soon as we had cleared the bar, pay me my money down. The maid knocked me down with the end of a spar. Pay me my money down. Oh, pay me, you owe me. Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down.
Oh, Barry Finn. Holy smoke. You know, if you look closely at the audience, you could see their hair sort of whoosh when he was singing. All right, another hauling shanty. You probably know this one. "Haulin' the Bowlin'." On paper, it looks like bowline. Don't ever say it that way. They'll throw you over the side. "Haulin' the bowlin', haul." Just keep singing that. All right, you'll be fine. Here we go. "Haulin' the bowlin', the kitty is me darling. Haulin' the bowlin', haulin' the bowlin' so early in the morning. Haulin' the bowlin', haulin' the bowlin', the fore and main to bowlin'. Haulin' the bowlin', haulin' the bowlin', the fore to gallant bowlin'. Haul on the bowling, the bowling, haul on the bowling, the Cape Horn gales a howling. Haul on the bowling, the bowling, haul on the bowling, we'll either break or mend it. Haul on the bowling, haul on the bowling, and bust the chafing leather. Haul on the bowling, haul on the bowling, no haul away together. Haul on the bowling, haul on the bowling, we'll hang for better weather. Haul on the bowling, haul on the bowling, the packet is a rolling. Haul on the bowling, haul on the bowling, the old man is a moaning. Haul on the bowling, haul! There we go. You know, one thing that should be mentioned is often as not, the shantyman didn't necessarily have to do the work. He just got to sing the song, and especially at the capstan, or if you were doing those short hauls, he was at the line pulling it down into the block. But shantyman had it a little bit easier than most. As long as you could sing, carry a tune, and make up the verses, you were good to go. Let's move on to another clip from a Revels show. We're going to go back and hear Louis Killen back in 1998. He's going to sing Little Sally Racket. These videos are really short. I just like to show them because it gives you a sense of Revels, and it breaks up the one voice after one voice after one voice. You get to hear a chorus on some of these. You're going to see out front stage, downstage center, looks like he's leading the song, but he's really leading the audience. This is our founder, John Langstaff, or Jack Langstaff, if you knew him. He's out there trying to get the audience to sing. Eventually, we'll get to see Louis off of the side. You're going to see the same yard going up the same rigging, doing the same. You'll see the garlands even, but it's a different year and a different singer. So Louis Killen, Little Sally Racket. Here we go.
Hey, little Sally Racket, home away. She's torn my best jacket, home away. And she's lost a ticket, home away. Tell me Holly High-Low, home away. And this little Winnie Skinner, home away. Oh, she says she's a beginner, home away. So it's up lads and winner, home away. She prefers it to a dinner, home away. Oh, it's up now, me boys now, home away. Oh, she's got red flannel drawers on, home away. So says her old bosun, home away. Oh, hold.
Oh, Louis. All right. So, pumping shanties. Celeste, talk to us about pumping shanties. And we're just going to do one. Celeste is going to do Strike the Bell. We're going to do one pumping shanty, and then we're going to keep moving ahead here. Can we unmute Celeste?
Thank you. Those Canadians, I don't know, ever since they came, I haven't been able to unmute myself, so. Okay, so this next song we're going to do is Strike the Bell. Pumping ship, the worst job. The worst job on a ship. If you were on an American vessel, chances are it was made of wood, and wooden vessels leaked. They leaked all the time, and so you had to pump ship all the time. And the type of pumps were different on different vessels, but one of the ones was a pump brake windlass, kind of like the rocker bars you see in the Three Stooges, where they're on the railway and they're pumping back, they're facing each other and they're pumping that car. It was a similar mechanism. You would use it to pump out ship. You could also use it to pump and turn a windlass down below, which brought in the anchor. So pumping shanties. And this one, the chorus is, strike the bell, second mate, let us go below. Oh, it's long. Look you well to windward, you can see it's going to blow. Look at the glass, you can see that it is fell. We wish that you would hurry up and strike the bell. So I'm not gonna sing all the verses because it goes through every single station in the entire ship, but it gives you the idea of what these guys were going through with the 2 watches. 4 hours on, 4 hours off. They want to hear that bell signal them to come off watch so they'll have some free time. But they know if the storm comes, it'll be all hands on deck, and then they won't get their rest period. So it's a long story. All right, so. Aft on the quarter deck, go walking about. There's the second mate, so steady and so stout. What he is a-thinking of, he doesn't know himself. And we're wishing that the second mate would strike the bell. Strike the bell, second mate, let us fall below. Look you well to windward, you can see it's gonna blow. Look at the glass, can't you see that it is fell? And we wish that you would hurry up and strike the bell. Forward on the forecastle ahead, keeping sharp lookout. There Johnny's waiting, ready for to shout. Lights are burning bright, me boys, and everything is well. And he's wishing that the second mate would strike the bell. Strike the bell, second mate, let us fall below. Look you well to windward, you can see it's gonna blow. Look at the glass, you can see that it is fell. And we wish that you would hurry up and strike the bell. Down on the main deck, working at the pumps. There's the larboard watch, all longing for their bunks. Over to windward, they see a great swell, and they're wishing that the second mate would strike the bell. Strike the bell, second mate, let us fall below. Look you well to windward, you can see it's gonna blow. Look at the glass, you can see that it is fell, and we wish that you would hurry up and strike the bell. Aft on the quarter deck, our gallant captain stands, looking up to windward with his spyglass in his hands. What he is a-thinking of, we only know too well, that he's thinking more of shortening sail than striking the bell. Strike the bell, second mate, let us fall below. Look you well to windward, you can see it's gonna blow. Look at the glass, you can see that it is fell, and we wish that you would hurry up and strike the bell.
All right. I love that one. It's a great harmony for that one, too. Too bad we couldn't do that one together. All right, we're going to move right on to the Stamp and Go Chanteys next on the list. And we're just going to do one of these, because shortly after that, it's going to be time to do what the sailors loved most, and that was to sing about going home. Because you always have to sing about going home. You sing about everything. But we'll do one of these Stamp and Go Chanteys. And as Celeste was talking about, you're hauling on the halyards that come down, and you guide it through the block, a big pulley system. And then the sailors on the Stamp and Go Chanteys, they would actually turn their back, and they would start walking or stamping or even running down the length of the ship. And it's a steady rhythm going all the way down, and then when you get to the end, you come running back and grab the line. So it's like you're going in a sort of an oval shaped pattern, but you're running with your back to the line, running down the ship and coming back and getting the next bit of line and running it down. So that's what a Stamp and Go chanting is. And it just keep that rhythm going all the way through. And one of my favorite ones is Roll the Old Chariot. How could I do a shanty sing without singing Roll the Old Chariot? There's a YouTube video of me singing this. Sort of went viral. It's like the cat video of sea shanties. That's how I ended up in the movie Blow the Man Down. They saw that video and said, oh, let's get that guy. So here we go. Roll the Old Chariot. I'm not even going to teach it. You'll pick it up right quick. Oh, we'd be all right if the wind was in our sails. Oh, we'd be all right if the wind was in our sails. Oh, we'd be all right if the wind was in our sails. And we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Oh, we'd be all right if we make it around the horn. Oh, we'd be all right if we make it around the horn. Oh, we'd be all right if we make it around the horn. And we'll all hang on behind. And we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. And we'll all hang on behind. Well, a drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. Oh, a drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. Oh, a drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang on behind. And we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. And we'll all hang on behind. Well, a revel shanty sing didn't do us any harm. Oh, a revel shanty sing didn't do us any harm. Oh, a revel shanty sing didn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang on behind. And we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. And we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Oh, that's a favorite. That's a favorite for sure. All right, time to start heading home. Celeste, why don't you give us Homeward Bound? Would you give us Homeward Bound here?
I will. I
We'll end
will.
with our traditional shanty.
So the chorus to this is, oh, hurrah, we're homeward bound. Oh boy, I gotta start from the beginning. I can't do it in the middle. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. That's it. To Highland Town we'll bid adieu, to lovely Kate and pretty Sue. Anchors weighed, the sails unfurled, we're bound to face the watery world. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. The wind blows hard from the east-northeast. Our ship will make 10 knots at least. The purser will our wants supply, while we have from we'll never say die. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. And if we land at Malabar or any other port so far, the skipper's change will go clink clink, and just like fishes we will drink. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. At last the man at the lookout proclaims a sail with a joyful shout. Can you make her out? I think I can. She's a pilot heading out from land. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. And when we arrive in Bedford town, the pretty girls will waltz around. Here's the words, you'll hear them say, why, here comes Jack with 9 months' pay. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. And then we'll haul to the Dog and Bell and drink the liquor that they sell. And comes the landlord with a smile, saying, sit down, Jack, it's worth your while. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. But when your money's gone and spent, none should be borrowed and none should be lent. In comes the landlord with a frown, saying, get up, Jack, let John sit down. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. Hurrah, we're homeward bound. It's then poor Jack must understand, the ship's in port all wanting hands. He goes on board like he did before, and he bids adieu to his native shore. Hurrah, we're outward bound. Hurrah, we're outward bound. Well, we were sort of heading home. We were sort of heading home.
We had a change of heart. Oh, Celeste, thank you so very much for joining me on this shanty adventure.
This was
And,
so much fun, David. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I hope it was fun being had, because all of this stuff was completely made up. No, actually, I mean, you bring the joy of knowing these songs and the history behind them and their use on board, and your personal experience as well, which is just lovely to have. So thank you very much to Celeste. Thank you to Press Gang Mutiny for Zoom bombing us all the way from Canada. Who knew? Don't leave yet, because we have one more song to sing, the traditional final song of any shanty sing. But I do want to get my thank yous in here. So Press Gang Mutiny, Stefan Reed, James Mackay, and Richard Cott, most of whom showed up, which was very nice. One got blocked by technology, but we got him on TikTok, so there's no escaping that. A big shout out to Michael Kolowich for carving out all those videos at my request and getting those to me. And especially a big shout out to Dave Jamrog, the man behind the scenes, who's doing the admitting on the Zoom and the broadcasting to Facebook and showing the clips and keeping our sound as good as I hope it sounds. And just generally being my right-hand man and taking a whole bunch of this stuff off my plate makes a huge difference. And of course, the Revels office takes a village. We have a village in the office. No trees, but a wonderful office staff working all angles of this. And of course, a big shout out to my daughter Linnea for singing with me one more time at least. So thank you to her. And we are going to sing our last shanty, Leave Her Johnny. Leave Her Johnny is always the final one. It has a terrific chorus. Here's the chorus, and two of those lines work their way into the verses as well. So here's the chorus. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. So that's the chorus, and there are a couple of lines that work their way into the verses, and you'll see how it goes. Here we go. Oh, the times are hard and the wage is low. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. But now once more ashore we'll go, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. The work was hard and the voyage was long. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. The seas were high and the gales were strong, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. The ship won't steer, nor stay, nor wear. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. And so us shellbacks learnt to swear, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. The old man swears and the mate swears too. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. The crew all swear, and so would you, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave Leafer, Johnny Leafer, for the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Now I thought I heard the old man say, leave her, Johnny, leave her. It's one more pull and then belay, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. The old pierhead is drawing nigh. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. And it's time for us to say goodbye, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Good night, all. Thank you all so much. Don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section. Ask questions. Make a donation to Revels if you can. Your support is very necessary. Keeps us all singing together, and that's what it's all about. So thank you all. Thank you all very, very much. Good night, all.
Oh, we'd be all right if the wind was in our sails. Oh, we'd be all right if the wind was in our sails. Oh, we'd be all right if the wind was in our sails. And we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Oh, we'd be all right if we make it around the horn. Oh, we'd be all right if we make it around the horn. Oh, we'd be all right if we make it around the horn, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Well, a nice watch below wouldn't do us any harm. Well, a nice watch below wouldn't do us any harm. Well, a nice watch below wouldn't do us any harm, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Well, a drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. Well, a drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. Oh, a drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Well, a night on the town wouldn't do us any harm. Well, a night on the town